Good morning. It is the Going On Daily Live morning show. It is Saturday, and wait, Ron's here instead of Ira. Ira is unfortunately taking care of his little doggy, who was sick, so he took it to the vet. So hopefully the little doggy is okay. And so Ira will be here again with Lana next week. So, look. It is a beautiful day out here in Rhode Island right now.
It is. I mean, it has been. The past week has been, I love it. This is my favorite time of year.
It poured like hell the other day.
That's okay. I don't mind rain. See, rain doesn't
No,
bother
I
me.
don't mind rain either. I actually like being out in the rain too.
Yep. Me too. So that's okay. And it gives you an excuse if you want to take a day and not really have to do anything. You don't have to be in the yard or anything. Rain's a good excuse to say, well, I guess I'll have to do that another time.
Yes, that's right.
So-
It's always an excuse, right? It is season 2, episode 218, Pac-Man Fever. So, I mean, it really doesn't disguise it too well. So, obviously, we're going to have something to do with this little guy over here.
Yeah.
Lena, I was just trying to listen to the song.
I know. We were just talking about how awful it is.
Buckner and Garcia.
Yep, Buckner and Garcia. Yeah, one-hit wonders of the 80s. What can I tell you? A lot of them were
very good.
not good. I mean,
it does not hold up to the test.
I don't think it held up then.
No, it didn't really.
You know what I mean? It wasn't really good when it came out either. But for some reason it did chart. But I think it was just a novelty thing. So.
Yeah, well, I tried to give it a shot and I couldn't make it through the whole song. It was annoying the hell out of me.
I mean, it sounds like what they were trying to do. And I don't know whether they got sued for this or not, because I don't remember, but I believe it was supposed to be like Cat Scratch Fever. I believe that was like the premise of like how they arranged it. No, again, it's very close to that.
Yeah, now that you say that,
and so
I can see that. Musically, it's very, very similar.
Right, I think they were trying to not rip off Ted Nugent. I don't remember. Like I said, the copyright laws were different back then, so I'm not sure whether. I mean, there were some songs that went to court before that, so it must have been some kind of a
Huey
thing.
Lewis in the News.
Yeah,
brought Ray Parker Jr. to court and won.
Right,
and Ghostbusters.
The whole George Harrison, Shangri-La thing, but I don't know. So I don't remember back then if like the Ted Nugent got mad about that or didn't or whatever, what happened. Maybe he just was like, this is so stupid, I don't care. I don't know. But that's funny, what it was supposed to be.
You take what some people do with their music and sample other songs, whether they get permission or not, remains to be seen. But you look at Weird Al Yankovic, made a living off of parodies, and those artists that the song was being basically poking fun at, they were honored.
Not only that, but I think I believe, again, he did it a different way, where he went to them and said, "Can I do this?"
Oh, absolutely.
Some of them don't do that, and it backfires. But then some of them don't care because, what do they call it? Some people think it's better to ask for forgiveness and permission.
Yeah.
And once the song hits the airwaves and gets a specific amount of traction, they feel like it's gonna be worth it. I don't know why you would want to go to court on purpose, but some people.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
But I don't know. But I do enjoy looking at historical music, the business and how stuff happened.
Absolutely.
We could bring up Vanilla Ice and Queen and do the same thing. So I mean, but also music is funny in that it changes so much that there are definitely times and places where stuff was really, really trendy that just you can't even look back on and say, why was that happening? But whatever. If it wasn't for Vanilla Ice, we wouldn't have Eminem. Who knows?
So. See, I can step in for Ira just like that. Just talking about something random.
Yep. There we go. Off on a tangent. Maybe it's me. I could just have maybe it's me that I'm just infected. I'm infectious like that. in the sense that I just make other people ramble about nothing. I don't know. Maybe
Well,
maybe I'm the person that's to blame.
me and Kenny did a show with no agenda. We just went.
Oh yeah. All right. Yep.
So, so it is fun. You never know what you're going to talk about,
That's true.
and
That is true.
it works. It works. But we're gonna go right into the first segment. It is, of course, Wildlife Week here at Going On Daily. I've already done 6 segments about wildlife.
Yeah, we're at the end of the
Yeah,
tail
it's
end
the
of the
last
whatever.
day of this. Although I think JP wanted to do one, so I think he's got one tomorrow.
Okay.
Um, but But we're going to talk about this little guy right now. Whoops, that is not the right graphic. Slip of the hand.
Okay.
45 years of Pac-Man.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Like,
It's
I don't know.
45 years.
I can't even. There's so many 45 and 50-year reunions going on right now that it's just really depressing, I guess, if you're from that era. Yeah.
Yeah, because we just did the Jaws thing,
Yep.
a few weeks back. And you even had Kenny on here doing something with Orca, the boat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean,
So then there's Back to the Future.
I know. Are you going to see it in the theater? Because they're
I want to, yes.
yeah. I have. I think it's the 31st or the 30th that they're starting to run it in theaters, and I know Warwick is doing it. I don't know if like Providence is doing. This is a discussion between me and Iris. So if you're not from Rhode Island, you're gonna be like, "What are they talking about?" But
Yeah.
I know the Warwick Theater, the Warwick Showcase, does have dates and times.
Yeah, I hope
So
it's
far.
on Saturday because Friday I got to do the sports show and I will not be
No,
able to do it.
they're running it for a while. I think they're running it for a
Okay,
week
that's
or
good.
something. So, but
Good.
you have to get your tickets with I don't know if it's Fandango's doing it, I think. So you have to get your tickets through there. You have to like order them, which is fine because you get to see your seating and you get to see, oh, here's a bunch of people in the theater. I don't have to go that day or that time, or you actually get to see whether or not you have to deal with human
Yeah.
beings in the theater, which I like.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And they, of course, give you a surcharge.
They do. They do. That's
As if
the way
tickets
it's
aren't
going these days.
expensive enough.
I know. I don't know what they are, but I'm looking at. They're probably $20 a piece. They got to be at least. So I haven't actually looked at the prices yet. I'm just watching the calendar to
Yeah,
see because
I gotta look it up too. So
for the longest time
but I do
there was
plan.
nothing on there. They had they had forever. They had just like a blank screen up, and you couldn't see when it was going to happen. So anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a great movie. I love that
it was,
movie.
and it's the best from me being a kid and remembering it. I don't know why, but I remember like a lot of movies in theaters and like when people laughed, when people didn't laugh, what people thought was funny. Like you can remember the experience of like how the audience reacted to certain things, and even when you're watching it at home, you can still hear it. Isn't that weird?
But even through all the little things,
right?
You still chuckle at a lot of parts that weren't the big laugh, right?
Yes.
You kind of chuckle because you're looking at it now and it's nostalgic and it's like, oh yeah, yeah. Here's when he does this, and it's like
it's great.
It's everlasting. It's
a friend of mine and I, we have a movie. We do movie nights every couple months or something like that, and we'll pick 2 movies, and we just did that the other day. And I have like an 85-inch screen, so it's very cool in my house. Turned everything off, and but yeah, we watched it the other day, and it was just like it holds up so well, and it's so well shot.
Yeah,
I guess.
And to me, it's like right up there in those movies like Wizard of Oz, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Back to the Future is almost like that status.
Oh, it is. No, it's classic.
Because it's like it's something that you want to watch like regularly, like because I watch Wizard of Oz, Willy Wonka every year, Rudolph every year. It's like that to me.
Did you watch your Great Pumpkin yet? Did you watch your Great Pumpkin yet this year?
I did. I love Charlie. It's Charlie Brown.
If you are not an Apple user, I don't know how, but somehow or other, Apple acquired all of the Charlie Brown stuff, right? So if you don't have Apple TV, they do run it for free.
Yeah.
So you can go into your TV and go into your app, and I think like all the shows like seasonally they'll run it for like a week or something. So right now The Great Pumpkin is free if you don't have Apple TV.
I paid $5.99 to watch it.
Oh, you don't have to do that. It's free.
Yeah, but I didn't know I couldn't get it for free. But
oh yeah,
you know,
they do it
but
every year.
it didn't matter to me because you know, I got it. You know, now I can watch it anytime I want.
That's
know?
True. Well, unless you change platforms, in which case,
well, yeah, but no,
there's that whole we don't own anything thing going on at this point. But
yeah.
Isn't that nice? So. Let's complain about technology today. Anyway, let's go back to the days when technology was new. Kind of.
It's been around a long time.
I was just talking to somebody the other day about Pong, like how at some boy in my neighborhood had like a Pong, and it was like they were from a rich family.
Yeah.
And they had that early setup with like the 2 lines and the dot and the tennis line. Like that was it. And that was the most exciting thing we had ever seen at that time. Like
I know, it was amazing.
Crazy.
But you know, it's not it's one of those things that was, this is awesome, you know. You know, when you're by yourself, you can just play a game that would normally take 2 people, you know, to do something, right?
Right.
And that was the amazing thing. But you know, even when Nintendo, the first the NES system came out, it wasn't enough to keep me from going outside. You know what I'm saying?
I think we were programmed though for that. That's the thing. We weren't raised on it. That's the problem. Or not a problem. Sorry. Like programming wise, as kids, we were raised to go outside and run around and climb trees and all that. That was something we just did. So the video games came in, and we weren't that generation of, honestly. That was a younger generation that was raised on
Pong, that. You know, we had the Space Invaders. And
we also had to go to
Asteroid.
arcades. Do you remember? We had to leave the house sometimes.
You know, and then The Legend of Zelda came.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
And then I found myself, okay, I'm going to play for an hour, and that hour would be like an hour and a half. And then you'd finally like, I'm going out.
Whoa, you know? It's been 2 days and I haven't gone to school or whatever. It gets like that. My sister had the Nintendo. If my sister's around, I don't know if she's watching this or not, but she's the one that had the Coleco and the Nintendo stuff. That was her age, because she's
I think Legend of Zelda was the game that started bringing people in.
Maybe.
And saying, you know what, I'm gonna.
What about Donkey Kong and Frogger and there were some games like that, I think that.
Yeah, but they were platforms. You know, this is like exploring kind of thing, and the exploration part of it was part of the hook. And I think that's where the generation just started retracting into the house, because I'm going home. I'm gonna go play some Legend of Zelda kind of thing, you know.
Yep.
And I think that started that whole genre to become obsession, you know.
Yeah.
And that's when
I don't think we knew.
First changed.
I think that the companies wanted us to be obsessed and hooked, obviously, because that's their profit margin. But I don't think we had any idea like how hooked and crazy we were gonna get.
It's crazy
stuff.
now.
But again, like, if the arcades did any research, that's where it all started. The arcades is where there were kids that would get on. I know I would. I'd get on like 2 buses to get to an arcade downtown. I had like everything I needed, and that was a day. On a weekend, that was it. A roll of quarters, and like that was my day.
Yeah.
You know, so I think if they took all of that research and said, okay, well, what if we have systems that kids can play at home? Because I think the arcade really was before the home system, as far as like trending stuff goes. So, and then they knew that kids would get hooked because they saw kids in the arcade like wasting.
Right, the arcade hooked everybody because those were the best games, right?
Right.
But then at some point, those games that were in the arcade were now on the systems, and that
Right.
was, the spawning of PlayStation and Xbox. Those changed
Yeah.
everything. And
PS5s or
then it was
PS3s or PS.
reversed, and then people weren't going to the arcade anymore.
True. Although I will say this, the arcade games really were the best. I don't care what they brought into the systems at home. The arcade games really were the versions that we really wanted.
Yeah,
And the versions that we had at home were a knockoff of that. They were never
yeah.
the exact same, which is fine.
No.
But we used to my favorite was the tabletops. I used to love the tabletops.
Mm.
When you went to the arcade, you didn't get those so much, but you could go. We had like a racquetball club near my house. You could just like, go into the lounge, and they didn't care if kids came in. Why I don't know, but at one point you could just go in as a kid into
Yeah.
their like bar area and sit down at tabletops and just play, and that was the coolest.
Yeah, because they had like Galaga
Yep.
or Galaxian, either one. They're both kind of the same. They had Pac-Man on those.
Miss
Miss
Pac-Man,
Pac-Man.
Asteroids.
Yep.
Mine was Tempest was the game that ruined me. That was the one that got me. Tempest was it for
good.
me. Yeah. And I actually
Centipede.
found Centipede was good. Yep. I still play the Netflix Centipede. I don't know if you've tried that one.
No, I haven't played Centipede since probably
they've got like a turbocharged
90s.
Centipede on Netflix. So if you have Netflix, they have a little game area that you can
They do?
use. And yeah, I'm crazy. I go looking for stuff like this. Also, there's something called Pac-Man 256, which I play off Toshiba. Now that's a Toshiba system game. So I think if you don't have a Toshiba TV, you can't find it. But if you do, that's something that has like it is Pac-Man, but it's like a more 3D version of that. And you can use your remote to play. So
interesting.
Yeah, I'm a video game kid. I mean, at least I'm an arcade game kid. Put it that way.
So it's 45 years old today.
Yeah. Like it came out in 1980, October 10th, in the US.
Wow. So it is just fresh off the birthday.
Right. Very close to it. And I guess it was released in Japanese arcades in May of 1980, May 22nd. And then we got it in October. And so there's just a bunch of stuff going on for the celebration of it. There's a little bit of game history for it. So I can get into that if you want. I don't kind of in my laid back coffee mood. So I don't really kind of care either way. But now that we're chatting about it, it doesn't have to be so structured. But it's themed
Becky's in the house. Hello, Becky.
There's Becky. There she is. Her comment took a while to. What's going on with the delay? Sometimes it takes a while for it to show up. Has to go through the channels, I guess, before we see it on the screen.
Yeah, I just noticed it. I wasn't paying attention to it. And it I don't know how long it was there. It says 10:17, so about 4 minutes ago it was there.
Yeah, anyway. So anyway, there's a campaign theme for the 45th anniversary themed around impact, which aims to highlight the game's cultural impact and the legacy. There's several companies that are collaborating for the anniversary. Krispy Kreme is offering special Pac-Man themed donuts. Don't think we have one of those in Rhode Island anymore. Rhode Island did not like Krispy Kreme. Let's just put it that way.
I love
it went bye-bye. I know, but Rhode Island did not. We had a couple of locations.
Because they're so obsessed with Dunkin' Donuts that they sit in your stomach for like 5 days.
I know. I don't know. I don't really eat donuts, so I'm not as much as most people, so I really don't kind of care either way. But Krispy Kremes are pretty good. So the collaborations on new merchandise and gaming accessories, companies like PowerA and Monte Grappa, live experiences. A life-size interactive Pac-Man live experience allows participants to step into an actual maze in Manchester in the UK. Museum exhibits, special displays and exhibits are being held, such as a retrospective at the Great Park Gallery in Irvine, California, and a display at the Museum of Pop Culture in Seattle. Special collection of retro gaming devices was debuted by My Arcade at CES this year. A new Pac-Man cookbook is being released. I can't even imagine what. I don't even know where to begin. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that.
He's on her Rumble account.
Oh, okay.
Look, yesterday, her what 5th episode think it's 5th episode
Uh-huh.
came on yesterday, so that was good. She's cruising along with her show.
Oh, nice. I need to
So
get a show.
I
I'm
just
still
can't
working on mine.
imagine a cookbook for Pac-Man. What the
I know.
how
I
does
don't.
that make sense?
I don't. I don't know. I don't know.
Cherry pies, maybe?
I guess, or that's true. They do have fruit. There's a lot of fruit in the
Yeah.
games. Maybe they're taking the fruit, or maybe they're using Pac-Man like slices of pizza. I don't know. It's weird, but
Yeah.
I actually looked at that, and I didn't want to go too crazy, but I'm probably gonna rabbit hole that tomorrow and
Oh
see what the
boy.
heck that's about. The original game was an immediate success, selling over 100,000 units within its first year and becoming one of the highest-grossing arcade games ever.
See, 100,000 doesn't seem like a lot to me.
It was, but in 1980, it was. This is
It was
this
then,
is
yeah.
the actual consoles that were going into arcades.
Yeah.
So think about that. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
lot, at that time for them to have. What are those things? I don't know how those things were
Well,
ridiculous
there
money.
was an arcade in every mall.
Right. That's probably where most of them ended up. There were some downtown
Yeah.
areas, I'm sure. When I was a kid, though, we had arcades that were like, I don't want to say they were separate and apart, but they kind of sometimes they had arcades that were strict arcades. That's all they did. They were like standalones. For us, I think a lot of them turned out in malls and a lot of pizza shops and
And they
places
all
like that
had
where kids hung
they
out.
all had Pac-Man, every one of them.
Right. So,
Everybody had one. I'm
yeah.
surprised you didn't find them in banks, to be honest with you.
Well, you know how banks are like libraries. You got to be careful with your noise. So probably it would have been very disruptive for banks if kids were
Yeah,
coming
you
in
think?
and
You
playing
think?
Pac-Man. But anyway, Toru Awatoni created the character, reported inspired by a pizza with a slice missing. Japanese onomatopoeia for chomping and the kanji for to eat. Right, Pac-Man, and then we've got Pac-Man ghost names, and I just thought I would throw those in here for
Oh,
fun.
yes.
Um,
Yes.
from sources across the web, we got Pinky. That's the pink ghost.
Nope.
The pink ghost is very speedy and can cut off Pac-Man when you least expect it. And when I was a kid, I learned the patterns, but like I didn't know that they had like specific patterns for a reason. So it's kind of interesting. Clyde was an orange ghost. He chases
Yep.
Pac-Man around the stage. Blinky, he's the leader of the ghosts, also known as Akabai, which is his Japanese name, and then Inky, who is a blue ghost who's often depicted as goofy and slow-headed. And then Sue, right? Sue is the first ghost in the game. Her attack pattern is based on her role on Pac-Land.
Right.
And then the creator has often claimed that the character of Pac-Man was designed after the shape of a pizza, like I was saying. In a 1986 interview, he said this was only half true, and that the Pac-Man character was also based on him rounding out and simplifying the Japanese character Kuchi. So, there we go. There's the information you need. But yeah,
Awesome.
45 years, like it's so crazy to me. And a little bit of history about where it came from, and
I think it even had a cartoon.
Yeah, it's funny. When I was a kid, I think they made. At one point, I didn't really pay attention to it because I think a lot of the cartoons that came along were after I was a kid. The
Yeah.
cartoon thing was really more for. We had Bugs Bunny and we had cartoons for.
Yeah, those were the good ones.
They were the
Then it
classic
started
ones, but
changing.
also they weren't in our time. They were they were from before our time when we were kids, and they just ran them, for a while. Like so, we had stuff like
Constantly.
Felix and
Like Flintstones was way back.
right, right.
That was that followed the Honeymooners.
Right, the '60s was really the kind of
Right.
cartoon. I think that's where we and Bugs Bunny personally, and all of those. I mean, those came back from the 20s and 30s. I mean, we had stuff.
Yeah.
We were watching cartoons about like they were not making fun of, but they were set in stages of that were like the Great Depression and things like that. Like
Yeah.
that's the kind of stuff and cowboys and Indians. That's the stuff that we watched. So it wasn't being created at the time that we were watching it. Then I think the generation after us started to get cartoons that were like based on whatever their trendy thing was, like
Yeah.
Garbage Pail Kids or, I'm trying to think like they were just
it was very trendy after that. Yeah.
right. So, and I was
They made a
too
cartoon
old to
about
really
everything.
follow it, But as I got older, I realized they would make it a cartoon on anything they thought was going to make money. That's basically what
Yeah.
they were taking the Toys R Us. Because think about the toy stores when we were kids. Like we had toy sections in places that we went, right? So we had whatever the outlet stores, or there was always a place where kids could have toys, but we didn't have toy stores when we were kids.
Right.
That came after us.
Well, I don't know.
Not really. Child World and all
Toys
that
R
came
Us.
like it was more. That was in the, yeah, but that was in the 80s when we were like already teenagers. Like when we were kids, when we were 4 or
I don't
5
know.
years old.
I remember going to Toys R Us when I was a little kid, and I was a little kid in the 60s and 70s.
There was never a Toys
Yeah.
R Us when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And you and I are from the same era, so I don't, unless you're younger than me, right? Is that what it is?
I doubt that.
I
59.
think so. Yeah, so I think you should look back on that because I don't think Toys R Us existed when you were that young.
Yeah,
I really
sure
don't.
I went as a kid.
I remember Child World. I could say Child World was something that
Child
started
World was
before
one too.
Toys R
I
Us.
remember that as well.
And that might
So
have been like on the cusp of we were like before we were 10, but
interesting.
there were really not like major
Becky,
stores that
look
were
that up.
just that.
Find out
You know what?
when
I'll look it up.
Toys
R Us.
Becky,
Child
look
World
this up,
and Becky. All right, but Becky, when were you 19? It wasn't in the 70s, I'm sure.
No, it's not.
Like Toys R Us came along, I think my sister's generation, I believe, like the late 80s, I think.
Well, while you're looking it up, I will do the promo for all the social media.
1948.
You were watching us.
Oh, wow. That can't be.
You were watching us on Kick, YouTube, and Rumble at Rhode Island Broadcasting. Also, you can watch us on Twitch at RI_broadcasting. There you can donate bits, and you can donate 4 bits, which is only 4 pennies. And that way, both myself and Lana can put our 2 cents in. You can also watch us live on Broadcasting RI at Twitter/X. And we got 6 people watching us right now on there. If you're not able to watch us live, you can always listen to us at work, school, in the car, wherever, at Spotify, Red Circle, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio at RI Broadcasting. Follow us on all of our social media, including places like MeWe, TikTok, LinkedIn, Blue Sky, Parler, Space Hey, and Gab, all on there at RI Broadcasting. And of course, you can get these mugs at Patreon and, have a nice little mug for the morning to listen to the show or watch the show. You can also go to Facebook at Going On Daily Morning Show and follow us there. We'd love to go live on Facebook again. Seeming Mark took us off of their platform with Rhode Island Broadcasting, but we're in there with Going On Daily Morning Show. So get on there, follow us, share it to all your friends, so that way we can go live on Facebook again. And if you want to support even more than what we've already discussed, go to RhodeIslandBroadcasting.net. We have all the information about our host of the show, and has, a bunch of shows that we feature on Rhode Island Broadcast. You can find out all the information there. And also vote for the Going On Daily Hall of Fame. This month, we are doing Cheers, Happy Days, The Golden Girls, MASH, Married with Children. Golden Girls is still in the lead. Come on, Cheers. Let's go. Not even a single vote for Happy Days yet? Really? Really?
I don't know. I don't know.
Come on. Let's get out there. Yeah. So did you find out when Child World and
Child World was founded in 1962, and it came out of Quincy, Mass, which makes sense because that's why we saw that so early, because I think they expanded into Rhode Island pretty quick from Quincy. Whereas Toys R Us came from DC. and they were founded in the 20s, but they started in 48 as far as expanding stores out, but we didn't see it till the 80s. We saw it in like the early 80s. So you were not seeing it in the 70s unless you traveled somewhere, because they didn't have them in this area.
There we go. I almost blocked Becky by accident.
Oh my goodness.
That would have been terrible.
So yeah, it looks like there were Toys R Us stores, just not in this area until like the early 80s. It looks like 81 or so, 80,
Yeah, so
81,
that makes
something like that.
sense because, you know, I was already in high school in the 80s.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So you weren't a young child for that, which is
And I
what
remember
I mean.
going to these places when I was little.
Okay, then you must have been
And I would always be
traveling
told
somewhere.
just before going into the store,
Uh-huh.
whether it was my mom or my dad, they would just turn on, as soon as that door opens, don't ask for anything. I'm like, well, why do I want to be here then?
I know. That's
It's
and
like,
don't
it's like
and another thing was like don't touch anything, which is really funny because like how can you put a kid in a toy store and tell them don't touch anything?
It's not fair.
I don't know. But it looks like there were toy stores around, but not like they were very like mom and pop. There weren't really a lot of chain stores that were toy stores when we were kids. But we were inside of other stores. There were toy sections, you know what I mean? So at least that's what I remember. But anyway.
All right. It is time for Today in History. You know, I only had, 10 minutes to prepare.
I know. That's okay, Ron.
I don't even think it was that.
You can do it.
Right? So I decided to do Today in History.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a pretty good day, let me tell you.
Nice.
All starting back in 1875.
Wow.
The first performance of Piano Concerto No. 1 by Tchaikovsky is given in Boston, Massachusetts, with Hans von Bülow as soloist.
Nice.
So Tchaikovsky's
Boston, like,
Piano
is a music
Concerto,
mecca, maybe. It's the music mecca.
you know?
Yep.
Like, Boston was the place back then.
And it stayed that place, too, for years.
Yeah.
Decades.
So, nice. Tchaikovsky, 1875.
Awesome.
1884.
Mm-hmm.
This is mind-blowing. The first World Championship Baseball Series, which is now the World Series, at Polo Grounds, New York City, the Providence Grays beat the New York Mets 12-2.
Wow.
In 6 innings for a 3-game sweep. The game was only 6 innings because the game was abandoned because of bitter cold, and the Mets were getting their butts whooped by Providence. Yeah.
Good. You happy about that? I don't know why. Listen, how can
Providence won the first championship?
How would two teams from the Northeast have any issue with the cold? I have a
I
problem
don't know.
with that.
I don't know.
You know, get it together.
It's
well,
baseball.
Maybe it was,
they're wimpy.
Back then, I guess they didn't have the right gear for that time of year. I guess.
Football players play in snow.
I know, but did they play in snow back then? Who knows what everybody did in 1884, right?
Yeah, but Providence won the first championship. That's all I got to say. Yeah.
Okay. That was probably the last one. I'm sorry, that wasn't the Red Sox. Yeah. So anyway,
yeah, Providence. I don't know if they stayed in the league very much longer after that. I don't know. 1964.
Mm-hmm.
These guys right here, Mick and Gang.
Yep.
Appeared for the first time on the Ed Sullivan Show. They remade. They did a cover rather of "Around and Around" by Chuck Berry, and "Time Is on My Side." Those are the songs they sang on the Ed Sullivan Show. First appearance.
Very nice. That's cool.
So, Rolling Stones.
Did they come? They came after the Beatles, right? The Beatles were first. I think Beatles was 63.
Yeah, the Beatles paved the way for everybody in UK, and then they all
true.
started coming over.
Oh boy.
So
then we had an invasion. Yes.
Yeah, the British invasion.
Right.
Love it.
That was
There
the
was a
one.
lot of great bands.
I know.
Like,
one of
when
my
you
favorite
start
bands
thinking
is
about it,
I love the Zombies.
all
That's
your
like that's
favorites
my
in the
band.
past, they're all
I
from
know.
UK.
I know. I mean, and it happened again in the 80s with MTV, so
Yeah.
I guess they got their crap together more than we do. So
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. 1978, Halloween is released.
yes, it
Directed
was.
by John Carpenter, starring Donald Pleasance, and the film debut of Jamie Lee Curtis.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Great movie.
yes, sir. My one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I don't do it till the 31st, but yes. So that arcade I was talking about, or that place that we used to go to play tabletops, for whatever reason, they had a big screen. Remember those big screen TVs that like had the projection?
Yeah.
So back in like the late 70s, friends of mine and I, we used to go down there and they did features. And that was one of the movies we saw down there
That's
a
pretty neat.
lot of times in the late
That's pretty neat.
70s. Yeah, it was pretty cool. And again, I don't know. We were kids. We were maybe 10 or 11. I was 10 when that came out, but I don't know if I was. It might have not been. It might have been a year or two after that because, of course, it was in theaters at first. So in the probably I think like 81 because the second movie picks up the first one left off, but it's 3 years later or whatever. We used to watch them as a double feature. Yep.
Oh, we need Martin here for this one.
Oh,
yeah,
we do?
because Tchaikovsky and stuff like that.
Oh, yep.
We miss Martin. Martin, I hope you're doing okay out there. I really miss having you here. All right. Where was I? 1978. So, moving up the timeline to 1995. Do you remember Cliff Richard?
Of course I remember Cliff Richard.
Loved Cliff Richard.
Yep.
Loved his music.
Yep.
He became the first rock star to be knighted.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay. I didn't know
Queen
that.
Elizabeth knighted him before even Sir Paul,
Sir Elton?
or Sir Elton, before them.
We don't talk anymore, It's so funny. We don't talk anymore.
I know. I love that song. That's my favorite song by him.
Oh my God. He did a lot of singing. I believe he did a lot of singing in Xanadu, which nobody cares about but me. I'm the only one who cares about that movie. But I think he did a lot of the soundtrack singing on that.
care.
A couple
I'm
of their
an
songs.
Olivia fan, so I care.
Oh, Xanadu is like, people just can't even stand me when I bring it up because I love it so much. They're just like, oh God.
I have
really
no
loved
problem with it.
Yeah.
I had the
so I think
biggest
he
crush
did
for Olivia.
He did a couple of like duet tunes with her for that. For the soundtrack.
Yeah. Very awesome. Ron, yes, I do.
Livia, I met her and she was absolutely beautiful and she was very nice and gracious and she, she was cool. She's one of the ones I miss.
Yeah, that was a tough one for me.
Yep.
That was a tough one.
Between her and Carrie Fisher, I don't know how I'm still here. But anyway.
It's like there's like a handful of them that we've lost.
Yeah.
That really
2016
hurt.
was a bad year. When did she pass? Do you remember?
I don't know what the year was.
Of course.
Wasn't that long
There's
ago.
my Google right there. It's been at least a couple years. Yeah, of course she's dead.
Yes.
Becky. Yeah, she died.
That's why I'm so heartbroken.
She died in 2022, August 8th. And I believe it was breast cancer or something like that. Was it breast cancer?
Most likely complications from it.
Yep. She had metastatic breast cancer. It was diagnosed in 1992 and it returned several times and got into her bones and all that stuff. And so
unfortunate.
Yeah.
And she suffered. She did not. It was not
2016 is when Carrie Fisher went. That's when Davey Bowie went. That's when Prince went. But that was a rough year for all of us. Like we were just about to give up on that whole year.
Oh, I know.
Everybody went that year.
It was not even fair. It's not fair. There was a lot of them. That was a rough year too. You know. So Cliff Richard was knighted in 1995 on this day. And then, of course, we move forward to 2010 and the spectacular, get this, pay attention, Becky, the spectacular Taylor Swift Speak
Okay.
Now album was released, her third
Mhm.
album, and it became Billboard Album of the Year. I had to throw Taylor Swift in there because I could just. Oh, and I don't even think I adjusted the tags. Damn it. I missed out on that one.
Oh, for God's sake.
So, gotta tag her in right now
Yeah,
because
we're
all the Swifties will come. Taylor
okay.
Swift.
Becky, don't say no thank you to Taylor Swift. You want people to come looking for you. These Swifties will come to your house. Don't mess
Oh,
with
I
them.
know. These
Don't
are
mess
some
with the
crazy
Swifties.
people. They are obsessed.
Yes.
Like, I had a thing for Olivia, but this is beyond that. These people are obsessed.
So
I never showed up at Olivia's house.
when I was working for CTK, which nobody you will understand or know because it's local. She did a lot of tours and she did some radio stuff, and we met her when she was really young, like before 2004.
Yeah, so she was a
When she was
kid.
just doing local, junket stuff. She came through. She was young. She was long haired, mall kid. Like she was just young, and
Yeah.
we're like, okay. Our big thing was Billy Gilman here, so we were paying attention to much other than that. But yeah, she came through and did some stuff for us for a couple of little radio shows. I think we did like Dave and Buster's and things like that. And but she was good. She was talented at that time, and so it's kind of cool to see her trajectory of where she's gone since then.
Yeah.
You know,
Hey, you got to give her credit, though. I mean, look at the empire she's built.
I know it's crazy. I mean, it's she's good at what she does, and she's talented, but like it's such a crapshoot in this country that, or not even in this country, in the music business in general, that it's like she's not done. I'm not saying she's completely common, but I'm saying she's not done anything that she's ever that other artists haven't done, that other people haven't done. You know what I mean? So
Billy Gilman. She
yeah,
needs to
so
know
Billy
who Billy
Gilman,
Gilman is.
and I'm not gonna make no. Listen, I have friends that are Billy Gilman's a good kid. I have friends that know him well, and we worked with him a lot locally. He's just a
Well,
kid who
the song he did, like the what Christmas song was it that was like massive?
I can't even remember anymore.
I don't
Oh my
remember the song,
goodness!
but it was like number one
Right?
kind of thing. And it was like
Yeah.
it was probably the most played ever.
No, it really was. I can't. I'm trying to remember, but oh the girl I'm talking about, Taylor Swift.
Taylor
Uh,
Swift.
the girl that I'm talking about was Taylor Swift came through when I was a kid. Not a kid. I wasn't a kid. She was a kid. And we used to do like Taylor Swift would come through radio stations and do interviews, and like she was just going around the country doing like I would call it like the grassroots circuit kind of thing before she was huge, and she would
Yeah.
come do like radio stuff, whatever you want to call it. She would come through and we'd do like little concerts, give away tickets, or she would come sing in the mall, or we'd do Fall River Celebrates. I don't know if you remember that, but like she'd come through for something like that, or the New Bedford
Yeah.
Whaling.
It's from where I'm from
Yeah, little
Somerset, so right
concerts.
next door to it.
So yeah, she used to just come through like other artists did at that time that were starting out, and just sort of do like little local shows in parking lots of like Walmart
Yeah.
and that kind of stuff.
She
That was
worked
just
hard to get
basically.
there.
So yeah, she's been around for 21 years at this point.
I'm not a fan of her music, okay, but I do like Shake It Off. And that was
Mhm.
because I watched that what the hell was that show with LL Cool J? And they'd go out there and lip sync the lip sync one.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I
And The
forgot the name of
Rock,
it, but yeah.
Wayne Johnson went out there and did that song,
Yeah.
and that's when I started liking it because I thought it was so funny he was doing it,
Right.
and he did a good job of it too. That was the thing, and it just
Yeah, they were
fit.
great.
And since then, I like the song.
One of my favorites on that show that I can't remember either, Lip Sync Battle, that's it, was Keira Knightley doing like the hook, by Blues Traveler. Now that was just the funniest. If you ever get a chance to go see that, to look it up somewhere, she did a really good rendition of Hook by Blues Traveler, which is cool. And a lot of them did. I think at one point, yeah, I don't know. Shake It Off is good if you're a runner. A lot of people, I don't know if anybody gets on a treadmill and runs or whatever. Shake It Off is a really good tune to run to. It's a really good one. It's a nice, 5-mile-an-hour song to hit the trail with. So I don't know. I like her stuff. I'm not a fan like where I'm a crazy fan, but I appreciate, probably just because of what I do for a living, I just appreciate a lot of the arrangements and stuff. Don't get me wrong. A lot of what we listen to comes from what someone else did.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that. But I got to give it to her with that whole thing that went on with the record label where she had to re-record all her stuff and, the crazy stuff that went on with Scooter
she
Braun.
Worked hard to get there. That's the thing. And she built it up to this empire now. Whether you like her music or not,
listen,
you still have to
Britney
respect
did the
how
same.
she got there.
Christina did the same. This is the stuff that women or girls were doing back then. Alanis Morissette did the same. If you think she wasn't a pop artist in Canada, I'm sure Becky knows all about it. But yeah, they all start somewhere. You know what I mean? And it is kind of a crapshoot who goes like supernova and who doesn't. Sometimes it's interesting to me. They just happen to have the right arrangement or the right group of people around them, or they hit the right stations, or if they get the right song out there, that's all they need to do. So it's just crazy how it sometimes doesn't make any sense. It's just random. So I'm not saying she's not talented, and I'm not saying she doesn't know what she's doing, but I'm saying she came up with a lot of people like her that didn't end up where she is. So
yeah, like
there's that.
My favorite female artists are like Olivia, of course,
Mm-hmm.
Alanis Morissette, Sheryl Crow, and Pat Benatar. Pat Benatar's early stuff, not the We Belong crap.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any problem with Pat Benatar's stuff from one side to the other. I'm not sure what her later stuff is worse for or whatever. It's just her. I've never thought about any of her stuff as later stuff being worse. But still, it's all about what you like, right? I mean, so it for me, for the time that I grew up, I'm trying to think, probably Donna Summer or Miss Gaines, from Boston, or from Boston suburb. She was my favorite growing up. And so, I mean, there were a lot of cool artists when I grew up that they all came from somewhere. And I learned something about Sheryl Crow that I didn't like. So I'll tell you about that another time. But yeah, look up the history of the Tuesday Night Music Club.
Are you going to ruin Sheryl Crow on me?
Look up the Tuesday Music Club, or the Tuesday, whatever the heck her first album name is. And look at all of the musicians that she got together for this Tuesday Music Club that she has on her album. It literally was a get together of a bunch of really good artists, a bunch of jazz artists, and like just a bunch of behind the scenes artists. Anyway, she that name is basically from a jam session they did every Tuesday for an album that they thought they were doing together, and she apparently pushed out on her own and took credit for. That's all I'm gonna say. I learned that somewhere, and I was like, "Oh, that's." Don't get me wrong. Sheryl Crow is an amazing
Kenny
artist.
is in the house.
Look at the.
And he's now disturbed about the Sheryl Crow news.
Just look at that's why she has the talent she has, and she's from, the back end of most huge arrangements. Like, she's more like the the Wrecking Crew. She's kind of like in the sense of the Wrecking Crew was in the 60s. She's from a bunch of artists like that are very talented and very I can't explain it, but they're the substance of a lot of songs on the back end.
This is not making me happy.
I know you're gonna have to. I'm sorry, Ron, to ruin your day, but I was a little. Somebody else has to have their day ruined because I wasn't happy with it either. I was like, wow.
That would be disturbing.
There are some artists that won't deal with her anymore because of that. So
Oh man,
that's all I'm gonna say. Look up Tuesday. Is it Tuesday Night Music Club or Tuesday Music Club or whatever the heck?
I don't know.
Whatever the name of
I
that
never
album
heard
is.
of that.
It's
But
the name of
see,
everybody
now,
that. It's the get together they did every Tuesday with a bunch of well-renowned musicians to create something.
because I've done some top 5
Yeah.
things, and Sheryl Crow was in my top 5.
Right.
Kenny, me and you are gonna have to go back and find out what ones those were, and we have to redo them.
Well, not really. So I'm not gonna. So 2 things can be true at once. 2 things can be true at the same time. So Sheryl Crow is an extremely amazing talent. I'm not taking it away from her. She's not a good artist at all. It has nothing to do with it. I mean, she was a backup for Michael Jackson for a lot of years. She has a lot of talent from where she came from.
Yeah, I love the song "Picture" with her and Kid Rock.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
that's
he's
one of
not
them.
really that nice of a person either. So
here's what we learn as we grow up as Gen X. We've learned that not a lot of people we grew up idolizing are that great. So
yeah, apparently
it turns out not so much. But I still respect her as an artist as far as like she knows what she's doing. She's got a lot of talent, so I'm not taking that from her. From what I heard, she kind of screwed some people over back in the early 90s.
So we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Because we've already gone 52 minutes and we've done 2 topics.
Okay. Do you want to?
So the common denomination is you.
It is me. It's my fault. Because I'll jump in. You're lucky I didn't jump in on Halloween and start talking about some of the other actors in that movie.
I know, because I
just
know
skipped
you
right
love
over.
Halloween. You love horror movies. So.
I do. So, there's some people you did not give credit to in 1978. But
I know.
We didn't have
because if
time
I
for
had
that.
to keep it short.
I know. It's all my fault.
All right, so we got fun facts about the Shoebill Stork.
So the Shoebill Stork is my group, my squad. We all kind of love this bird because this bird has such RBF that it's amazing, right? So that's kind of how we got started at look at this bird. This bird looks like
he looks like an angry old man.
Yes, it's so cool. He looks totally like curmudgeon, which is great, right?
Look at his eyes. He's like staring you down.
Yep. He's just like he looks judgy, and we love that, right? So it's the shoebill, and it's Central and East African wetlands is where you would find this bird. And it's just a cool fact about a bird that maybe not everybody knows about. The general impression of him is he's tall, he's solitary, slow-moving marsh predator with a massive shoe-shaped bill. These birds are big. If you get a chance to look these up and show, you see pictures with them with people next to them, they are huge. They're 4 and 5 feet high.
Whoa, that's a big bird.
Yes. Their wingspan is up to 8 feet. Their bill is shoe-shaped. It's up to 9 inches long. It's got a hooked tip, right? And it's got sharp lateral edges. But Becky loves Kenny. Oh, Kenny loves me. No, Becky doesn't love me. That's Kenny. Thank you, Kenny. They've got sharp lateral edges for gripping and cutting things, right? So they're very
They'll take your hand off, is what you're saying.
Right. Their plumage is slate gray, lighter underparts. They're black-tipped primaries, right? Their eyes are pale yellow or gray-white. They have tense forward gaze, is what it says. Like,
it's an old man.
They're so cool, right? Their legs and feet, they have long dark legs, and they have long spread toes for balancing and floating vegetation. On vegetation, right? So like where they stand and they're one of those solitary birds that they do have other birds that they're around, but they don't flock as much as other birds. Yeah. Small feather tuft on back of head that can go straight up. Their lifespan is 30.
Little thing right there.
Yep. Right there.
Yeah.
So their lifespan is 35 years in the wild, and if in captivity they can live 50 years. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty good, right? Their temperament is solitary. They're quiet and they're territorial. And this is why we love them, because they remind us of ourselves. This is my spirit animal. Their locomotion is deliberate, slow walking, reluctant flyer. They use thermals when they're flying, meaning that they can actually pick up the heat of their prey.
Really?
Their migration, they're non-migratory, meaning they're sedentary. They're not like they're not flying south or north.
They're in Africa, so it's already warm no matter what.
Right,
So.
but they also don't fly. Apparently, they don't fly out when it gets to be extremely hot. Like some birds will leave and go north or go to a cooler area in the summer. They're an ambush predator, stand and wait predator, meaning they'll stand there for so long that you don't see them. And they have the patience of
stand still, not move, and
Yep.
then blip.
Yep. Stand and wait posture for extended periods, and they have a strike style collapse. So they're sudden forward lunge into water, and mostly lungfish, catfish, tilapia. They eat snakes. They eat juvenile crocodiles.
So yeah,
they eat baby crocs.
Oh my god!
Yes, that's part of their diet. Baby crocodiles, juvenile crocodiles. It says juvenile. I don't know how small that is. That might not be as small as I think it is, because they're big birds. I mean, they're the size of us.
Wow.
Occasional young water birds they eat. Yeah, it says they use their wing for balance. Post capture, their head sways back, clears the plants and mud while holding prey. The prey swallowed whole, down like a snake. Nothing. No chewing it, no nothing. The whole thing goes down. Their social structure is strongly solitary, and even breeding pairs forage separately. So if there's a pair that like hooked up for whatever reason, they actually separate and go different ways and eat their food and come back or bring the food back to the nest. They have a sound that's primarily silent, so they don't make much noise, but they have a greeting and courtship bill clattering that they do for their counterparts. The adults are low mooing call to find each other. The chicks have a hiccup like begging sound when they're babies for bring me my food.
Huh.
The nest site is a floating platform of aquatic vegetation. So that's where they reproduce.
So like all this, like grass and like lily pad kind of things, and just
they put their eggs there. Their eggs typically 2-3 eggs are laid at a time. They have a heat regulation of egg watering. That means they pour water over the grass to cool their eggs as they.
See, now here's the problem, though.
What?
Like if you're having your eggs on the water,
mm-hmm.
There are crocodiles and big crocodiles. Aren't they eating those eggs?
I'm assuming that they are good at. I mean, since they are kind of not. I don't think they're afraid of crocodiles. I think crocodiles may stay away from them because they eat them young. And even if they are big, I don't think crocodiles get, I'm bigger now. Like animals don't get that. So I think that they're like kind of prey to these birds.
Hippos, for Christ's sake.
Right. I mean, again, but like I think because they're so afraid of these birds as young, I don't think that they
in them that they fear them. I guess
I think they fear them for life just because they don't know that they're growing bigger than them or the same size as them, right? Only one chick survives, though, it says usually, with a fledgling outcome, right? So I don't know what that is. It could be anything. There could be other stuff in the water that the dominant chick often outcompetes or kills their siblings. That's what it is. During food scarcity times, they kill each other and one survives. So their flight ability, they're a strong flyer when they're required to fly. They speed 35 to 48 miles per hour. That's not crazy.
That's a big bird that can fly very fast.
Yes. Or I'm sorry, 22 to 30 miles per hour, 35 to 48 kilometers per hour. That's my fault.
Still fast.
Their range of movement.
Still faster than people.
They have short localized flights between feeding sites, so they just kind of flit around in one area. They're rare to long distance travel. They don't go that far. Typically, they just kind of jump around in the same region. Habitat specificity, they're dependent on intact marshes and floodplains. Their vulnerabilities are wetland drainage, human intrusion, which is pretty much for every animal. slow reproductive rate, and a slow population recovery if they're wiped out. Conservation implication is they protect hydrology first and their species survival follows. So they're only as good as their environment, I guess, as far as surviving. But closing facts for delivery. Let's see. We have a signature paradox. So that's a large apex bird built around stillness rather than speed. This is just the summary of it. The behavioral theme is minimal motion and maximal precision. And their biological strategy is that they're low output, high investment, and they're a long time frame, right? So presence effect is observed by humans as eerie, statue-like vigilance, which is so great. So there you go. There's your Halloween costume for this year.
That's
Shoebill
an
Stork.
interesting animal, let me tell you.
I think they're so cool. And if you get a chance, with National Geographic or whatever those people that go out and get those great shots out there.
These guys up.
They have some really cool pictures of these things. And we just love them. They just love them.
All right, there we go. Fun facts of the Shoebill Stork. You gotta love it.
Who would have thought I would have brought such a weird? I always do that. I always bring random stuff. It's my thing.
But that's what we love here. We love doing these kind of things on here. We've given, look, Becky does the same thing with the billabao tree or whatever it is, the African billabao. Bilbao, not the Bilbo Baggins, but some and the sea life that she's brought in. Oh my god,
that's cool. I mean, it's so cool to learn about stuff like that. So I think we should be.
All right, Brenda's in the house. Cool, nice to see you, Lana.
Oh, there's my girl, Brenda. I've known Brenda since I was 16.
Becky loves an animal fact. I do too. I love wildlife. We should probably do more of the wildlife thing on the show.
I think so.
All right, so let's go into the final topic, the final segment. Celebrity birthdays. I had 10 minutes to get 2 topics done, and I accomplished that, but I took the fluff instead of the stuff.
That's okay. It probably was a good balance. That's probably a good balance, right? Because we just got out of a very serious topic. So
celebrity birthdays, and I haven't done this in a while, but today is a very good one. And now it's your job and everybody else's job to pick their favorite. Not the most popular, their favorite of the birthdays. And there's going to be some good ones. And there's going to be some that people don't know by name, but will recognize through the band that they're in.
Okay.
So Charlie Smalls, the Wiz composer, his birthday today.
Very nice. Very cool.
I can't even read my writing. John Anderson? Yeah, John Anderson.
Oh, Korn?
From Yes.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Yes. I'm thinking of something else. Yes. Yes.
Glenn Tipton, Judas Priest guitarist. His birthday today. Dan Issel, former NBA coach and player.
Okay.
Denver Nuggets stands out. Rajon Uhl, Montreal Canadiens player.
Okay.
Matthias Jabs, Scorpions guitarist.
Okay.
Scorpions. I like Scorpions.
I don't, but that's okay.
Yeah, I'm aware of that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Mark Miller, and this is funny because he's the singer in Sawyer Brown. I always thought it was Sawyer Brown. I thought it was the guy's name. Apparently, it's not.
Oh, that's like Danny. I forget. There's a couple of bands like that are a name, but they're not. I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I did not know that. So Sawyer Brown is a band's name.
I think we've met Sawyer Brown.
Not the guy.
Right.
Chad Smith, drummer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. This isn't off to a good start. What are you talking about? You don't know these people?
And there's Laura. I don't know why, but this is my old like clubbing crew is showing up here.
See?
Are we supposed to be going out tonight
See,
and
they're all coming
drinking?
to see you.
They can't. I have to work tonight. But still, that's so fun.
All right. Yeah, see, Becky, that was the first tier. First tier. Second tier, Eugene Porky Lee, who died in 2005. He was one of the Little Rascals.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Helen Reddy. Happy
Helen
birthday,
Reddy.
Helen Reddy.
I loved her.
With the famous song "I Am Woman."
That's one of them. She had a few of them. I loved her
yeah,
stuff.
she had a few. But that was like
that was the big one. Yeah.
All right, you might remember this, Becky. John Matuzak, who was the Raiders' defensive end, but you might know him from the Goonies. The Goonies.
I've never seen
the
that movie.
only one that isn't coming back to play a role in the new movie.
I haven't even seen it.
He's
I've
not
never
alive
seen it. But yeah.
All right, former Toronto Maple Leaf Wendell Clark. Happy birthday. Comedian Samantha Bee, who's 56 years old today.
Wow.
Samantha Bee.
I was wondering whatever happened. I remember being
Porky,
when I was in.
Yes, Becky. Porky made the second tier.
Yeah.
Porky made the second. Born in 1986. Oh, what?
She was born in 1986.
She was born in 1986
Good
and
Lord,
never
Becky.
saw the Goonies.
You're like a baby.
She knows Wendell Clark. She knows Wendell Clark.
Well, she
All right.
born
Craig Robinson from The Office.
Okay. Another show I've never seen yet, but yes. Okay.
All right. And I put this one in the second tier as well. Mia Wasikowska from Alice in Wonderland. The movie. Alice in Wonderland.
Don't know. I've not seen much of this stuff, apparently.
Yeah. All right. Now we're on the top tier. These are the ones from the top tier. And I'll start it with sports ball. Juan Soto, 4-time All-Star, 1 World Series, and a batting title. He is 27 years old today. Juan Soto.
Okay.
Ciara, the singer, Ciara, 40 years old today.
Wow, she's getting up there.
She is getting up
there.
Becky's favorite, Katy Perry, 41 years old.
Whatever happened to Katy Perry? She's an astronaut now. That's
right. She's an astronaut, and you know she's hooked up with Justin Trudeau.
I know. How do you?
I learned this the other day from Becky.
Bloom? How does Orlando Bloom go left? I can't. I don't know. Okay. I don't know.
What a freak. That's what Becky's saying.
Well, I don't know. I think she's having her Demi Moore era where she's just.
Speaking of Orlando Bloom, I just watched a movie with him in it last night, and it was pretty damn good.
What was it?
Red Hand something or other. I don't remember the title of it.
Wasn't good enough for you to remember the title.
Yeah, because it didn't go well. I didn't understand the whole title of it.
Okay. All right.
It didn't match the movie to me, but it was a great movie. It had Andie MacDowell in it too. She played the bad guy.
Oh, I love her. Love her.
Yeah.
She's one of my favorite actresses in the sense that she's so diverse.
Yeah.
You know, she's pretty cool. So I'll have to go look up Red Hand something or other. I'll have to look that up and see if I can
it's new. It's brand new. So
well, he's probably got time on his hands now that he's not with Katy Perry anymore to make some movies.
Yeah, I guess so. This is the second movie I watched of him this year, and they were both awesome. Okay. I don't remember the name of the other movie either.
Maybe that's what he should have been doing. Maybe he's now in his element. That's cool.
No, he's making some good movies. I got to give him credit. He looks like a tough guy, not like, how he was as an elf and how he was in Troy. He's kind of that,
everybody in Troy was, well, I don't know. Everybody up against Brad Pitt in Troy was going to be different. But I'm a Pirates of the Caribbean fan, so.
Yeah,
I am. I know.
All right.
If you don't know.
Pedro Martinez, 54 years old today, 8-time All-Star, World Series champion in 2004.
Nice.
Dave Cowens, Boston Celtics great, 8-time All-Star. He is 77 today.
Okay.
Excuse me. Former college basketball coach Bobby Knight, 3-time NCAA champion, and 1984 Olympic gold coach. He died in 2023. So Bobby Knight, he's the one that throws the chairs.
I'll take your word for it.
He throws the chairs.
Okay.
And for some reason, I can't get water out. I think the ice froze the top of the thing.
All right.
Awesome. Mike Eruzione. Miracle on Ice. USA Gold, 1980 Lake Placid against, all the powerhouses of the world. And the kids came through and won gold. Mike Eruzione's goal was awesome. I'll never forget that call. I was watching that. That was awesome. And it spawned my favorite movie, my favorite sports movie of all time, Miracle. Love that movie. Kurt Russell. Great movie. But last but not least, so a lot of athletes on this day. So to me, if you're born today, you should become an athlete.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of great ones on this list. So
I'll go with that.
But last but not least, Marion Ross. 97 years old today, Mrs. Cunningham.
What a good life she had, man. That's cool. That's cool.
So those are all the birthdays.
Wow.
Now you got to pick your favorite one out of all of those.
I'll just go with Helen Reddy. There really weren't many in that I liked. The whole
a lot of athletes.
Group.
So you're not a Katy Perry or Sierra fan?
Not enough to pick them as like a favorite birthday. They're okay.
Becky says Craig Robinson. She's a big Office fan. She loves The Office.
Okay.
So I get that one.
It's on my list.
For me, this was much more difficult for me.
Oh,
Pedro and Mike Eruzione, those are some great memories. And then there's Marion Ross. As far as TV moms, she was my favorite.
Yep.
That and Joanna Kearns from Growing Pains. But that's for a whole other reason.
Joanna Kearns became the face of Lifetime television at some point, didn't she? Excuse me.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I think.
But man, this is so tough. I'm gonna go Pedro because it really hits home in the Boston Red Sox. So Pedro Martinez.
That's fair.
Favorite.
That's a fair get. That's a fair one. And Kenny says Bobby Knight.
Bobby Knight, and I knew that Bobby Knight. He was awesome. I loved Bobby Knight too. Kenny, absolutely. I get that too. He's definitely up there on my list as well. So that's celebrity birthdays. And there we go. I haven't done that in a while. Wow. I almost always do it with Kenny. Because Kenny gets offended a lot of times on things.
Oh. Do I not get
and I like seeing his reaction.
I don't. I need to be more reactive to things. Most of the time, I'm pretty easygoing and all right.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
All right. So tomorrow, I am back again, and I'm also back on Monday again.
Yeah.
It's going to be a weekend for me. I am back though. I am with Kenny and JP tomorrow. Kenny, I cannot wait. Kenny, I'm going to have a top 5 for you tomorrow. Let me tell you. And I'm kind of disappointed I didn't have one, knowing that you're on today. I'm a little upset.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'm
you
gonna
just
bring it tomorrow, Kenny. And JP is gonna have a wildlife thing because he didn't get to participate during the week. So he's going to have a wildlife story. Kenny is going to have a spooky story as we begin spooky week here on Going On Daily, and I will also have something to do with spooky. So my top 5 is going to be pretty good. So uh, so as I die at the end of the show.
yeah.
um so that is tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Lena, where can we find you?
You can find me at Lana DJ Lana Williams on Facebook. You can find my podcast that is in limbo right now, but we're working on it at lanaanddave.com.
Yep.
And that's pretty much it for
Gotta
now.
watch that 2-hour marathon of her and Ira.
Yeah. I
Gotta
cut it
watch
down to
that.
like 2 hours, and it was 4. Like I literally took it down
Yeah, I can
to
only
half.
imagine what's on the cutting room floor.
Oh my goodness. Well, I still have stuff on the cutting room floor that I will be throwing out here and there.
You should have just made a 4-parter.
I guess I could have, but you know how long it took me to make the what I did? We had to stick to the topic a little, for 5 minutes.
A little bit. But that's some of the best stuff is when you're off topic.
I know, but who wants to follow a 4-hour podcast? I mean, people start dying and falling asleep and things like that after about an hour and a half.
Well, how long is what's that guy's name that has the best podcast? Joe.
I don't know. I don't know how long his are.
How long is his show? I've never listened to it, by the way.
I'm sure it's not 4 hours.
I don't know. Joe Rogan.
You got to be a point in time where people start tuning out.
Right. All right, it's time for us to get out of here, Lena.
Yes.
Look, everybody have a great day. Thank you, everybody that was watching and listening today. I know we have Kenny. I know we have Becky. We have Laura.
We have Laura and Brenda. Laura and Brenda, my 2 partners in crime.
There we go. So thank you for watching today. Don't forget to share to your friends. Just share it.
Definitely.
To Facebook. You know,
it's worth it.
And all your friends can see it. And we'll see everybody tomorrow at 10 a.m. Have a great day.
Bye.